everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another webinar session with Alpine Brokerage Group. My name is Dan Charlie, and I'm the president of Alpine Brokerage Group. And today with us, we have a special guest, John Terry from Legacy Marketing. He's a regional sales director with Legacy. And we're really excited to have him today at the event here at our webinar. Legacy is one of our top partners here at Alpine Brokerage Group. And I got to tell you, it doesn't matter whether you're looking for an annuity product that has accumulation or an annuity product that is looking to be passed on to the next generation in a more effective way, or you're just trying to find some accumulation without all the bells and whistles. You know, what I get most excited about with Legacy is they have all of those things. And we have a special partnership with John. He's just a great guy. We consider him a friend here at Alpine Brokerage Group. So today I'd like to welcome John. He's going to tell you a little bit about what Legacy has to offer as it relates to their product portfolio. And then he's going to talk a little bit about himself and what he brings to the table that's not product driven. Because if you know, most of our presentations are not product driven, except I felt this presentation, they have such unique solutions for our clients that I would be remiss if I didn't talk about these today. So with that being said, John, I'd like to hand it over to you and let you take over and talk about all the wonderful things that Legacy has to offer. And then I'll come back in and close it. So take it away.
Thank you so much, my friend. It is good to see you on the screen and looking forward to be with you guys in Palm Beach soon. We're about to get some rain here in Arkansas, so I'm looking forward to getting some sun in Florida when I can get down there again.
That's right. Looking forward to seeing you.
Absolutely. Well, very excited to be on the call today with everybody, and thank you for joining us, taking time to invest in yourself. One of the things you'll find when I do a webinar, I hate product dumps. I hate being able to walk in and walk through just another rote presentation of giving you the bells and whistles of a product, because if it doesn't give you the application to know where the product fits, the money problem it solves, and the opportunity to get a win for the client so they can achieve a goal or an objective or an outcome, or be able to sleep better at night because you've resolved a fear that was keeping them awake, I've wasted your time, my time, and I've wasted Alpine's time. So that's not what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be walking through kind of an overview of our products. But the way I want to deliver it to you today is essentially walking through a presentation of what ifs. What if your client is looking for this? And oftentimes when we think about what our clients are asking for, there's a variety of things that they're telling us if we're willing to listen. You know, I'm reading an interesting book right now by Marcus Buckingham. It's called Love Plus Work. And one of the things he talks about in the book is the top sales professionals in the industry, the very best of the best. One of the things they all have in common, their love, their passion, what drives them is the solving of the problem. It's the close. It's getting the client to say yes to a solution that either achieves a goal or an objective for them, or it solves a money problem. But if you learn to be an effective listener, somebody that actually asks a question that allows the client to say more than yes or no, and let the client talk, the client will tell you everything you need to know to understand what the problem is they want to solve, the goal, objective, or outcome they want to achieve, and then to go to the tool in your toolbox, which are all the products and resources you have available, and find out which tool fits the problem. But here's the issue. Most of us, when we walk in, we've got an idea of what we want to sell the client. We believe that we know better than the client what they want, and oftentimes we don't listen to what the client is actually telling us they want to solve. And so oftentimes when we miss the opportunity to close a deal, it's because we haven't been an effective listener. But if we listen, I can promise you this, your client is out there looking right now for a solution to a money problem. And what we know from behavioral psychology and looking at the money psychology of clients, most of them are mulling around in their head somewhere between 4 and 8 money problems at any one time. And if you're really good at solving the most important money problem to them, and digging down through asking good questions to identify what that number one problem is, they're going to give you an opportunity to solve problem 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And lo and behold, you own that client because you are the go-to person to get them the outcomes that they want. But what I don't want you to be as a financial professional is the doctor who writes the prescription before they actually know what the symptoms are the client has so you can give a proper diagnosis. So as I walk through, I want to tell you, as clients are talking and a client is saying, this is what I want, I want to show you where our products solve those problems. So as you're reaching into the toolbox, not every device, because all you've got is a hammer, not every device that you're going to turn to in terms of a solution is going to try to drive something home. Maybe it's more finesse. Maybe you don't need a hammer. Maybe you need a screwdriver. Maybe you need a pair of pliers. In this scenario, I want to walk you through where our products work. So as you're reaching into the toolbox to solve a money problem, you know what money problems our products solve. Now, if you're not familiar with Legacy, we are a product design company. We design exclusive annuity products that are underwritten by A-rated US-based carriers that give you an opportunity to solve a distinct number of money problems. None of our products really overlap in what they do. Every one of our products is distinct and different, and as you see as we go through this, are going to solve a variety of different money problems to create financial outcomes for your clients that they want and they desire. So as you're having conversation with a client and in the discussions, the immediate thing that comes to mind is I need immediate income. I'm getting ready to retire. I'm walking away from my job. And all of a sudden, all this money I've saved for 30 or 40 years of working, that's going to provide a paycheck for the rest of my life. Out of all the legacy products that we have, where do you turn for immediate income? Well, that answer is Apex Advantage. This is our immediate income solution. Payouts can start as soon as 30 days after policy issue, as long as the individual is age 50 or older. A 51% immediate base benefit bonus. So they put $100,000 in, we're taking income on $151,000, pretty simple math. And there's a 6% roll up for up to 3 years if they're going to defer beyond immediate income 30 days later. Payouts are going to rival those of Aspia, but you got the opportunity with some incredible asset-based indexes that are going to give you the opportunity for growth over time. But what happens if your client comes in and says, well, John, I'm looking for income, but I don't need it right now. I'm 57 years old. I plan on working until I'm 70, but I would love to have a deferred income solution down the road. Well, if you're looking for deferred income, when it comes to the legacy portfolio, Flexmark is going to immediately come to mind. This is our deferred income solution, and it's kind of an innovative product in its design because there's 2 versions of the Flexmark product you can bring to the marketplace. You'll see in column 4 where you see a basic GLWB income rider. We have a 4% income rider built into this product automatically free of charge. So the client can have an accumulation-based product with a 4% roll-up rate for up to 10 years and have an opportunity there to be able to turn on income as soon as age 50 and after only a 1-year wait. Now, where Flexmark really fits in terms of deferred income, if you'll allow this to perk for about 7 to 10 years, you really have an opportunity to see results. For a 1.15 fee, you can use the MyFit income rider, which now that 4% roll-up rate becomes a 7% roll-up rate that can be locked in for 10 years and an opportunity to reset and lock in another 10-year roll-up period. So you've got an opportunity for folks that maybe are in their 50s or 60s that aren't going to be taking income for some time to have a guaranteed roll-up rate of 7% for 10 years. And the roll-up rate's been 7% for as long as the product's been out. Not contractually guaranteed to reset at that rate, but we've seen several years in a row where we've been resetting and people are locking in a 7% roll-up rate for up to 20 years. The other attractive feature I'll mention with that, and I'll come back and touch on it more later, is the MyFit Income Booster. But for now, let's move on. Let's shift the page here, and let's say rather than income focused, you've got clients that say, John, I'm looking for a very simple way to accumulate wealth. I don't want to pay fees. I don't want a lot of bells and whistles. I want plain vanilla accumulation Where do you turn in the legacy portfolio to get simple wealth accumulation? Well, to me, it's Classic Mark. It is a simple product, issues through age 90. So you can still write those older clients that want a place to accumulate money, maybe to pass it on to kids or grandkids. But here's the attractive thing about this product: no market value adjustment, and it's plain vanilla. There are no fees in this product, with one exception. And we see this exception used quite a bit. Over in column 2, you'll see a little area that says Heritage Maximizer. This is our enhanced death benefit rider. For 30 basis points, after only a 3-year wait, the clients at death, their heirs, their beneficiaries, are going to receive 130% of the accumulated account value. Not just the initial premium, but the initial premium plus all of the growth inside of the product. They're going to have an opportunity to be able to pass that on. So think about that. You've got an opportunity to grow on a tax-deferred basis. Some taxes are going to be due at death when we pay that out to the beneficiaries. There's 30% more to help offset the taxes, leaving more net result, more net benefit to heirs, beneficiaries, the kids, the grandkids. It is a fantastic tool for simple wealth accumulation, and it does include our new S&P 500 IQ index. Now, what if the conversation turns to generational wealth transfer? And I was just reading through an article today looking at the amount of money. We're talking trillions and trillions of dollars that are in the process of transferring from the last of the silent generation still alive, the baby boomers that are starting to die off, money going to the millennials, going to the Gen Xers predominantly. What do we do when it comes to generational wealth transfer? Well, you already saw it with Classic Mark. We talked about the Heritage Maximizer as an opportunity to utilize that. But we also have that same feature inside of our Liberty Mark product. I'll touch more on Liberty Mark in a moment, but I did want to mention that you do have that same Heritage Maximizer opportunity there. But I want to mention for just a moment Journey Mark, because when we're talking about generational wealth transfer, how many times do you have a client that is planning to leave their children or their grandchildren a non-qualified annuity? If you don't utilize the non-qualified stretch options that are available in the tax code, those clients the beneficiaries have to receive that money in a lump sum or maybe in a 5-year payout. With Journey Mark, we can set up, in advance of mom and dad dying, an opportunity to create a non-qualified stretch that will allow that money to be paid out as RMDs over the beneficiary's lifetime. That is a huge way to be able to stretch that benefit over many, many, many years. The other interesting thing about Journey Mark, and to my knowledge, it's the only A-rated carrier that offers it. It offers in their non-qualified stretch an exclusion ratio payout, rather than LIFO, which is the way most of them are going to pay out, which is all the interest first and then the principal follows at the end. With Journey Mark, part of each payment is principal, part of it is interest. So it is a much more tax effective way to pass on wealth generationally and allow that product to continue to go. The Citi Flexi Beta 5 is an incredible index. It had about a 6% return last year. Now do the math at 150 to 167% crediting rate. We're talking 9-10% crediting on an incredible product. The Journey Mark product will also do inherited IRAs. We will also utilize entity-owned life insurance. So if there's a need for a trust, Journey Mark and our advanced markets team that work with us with Western and Southern can help make sure that this is properly structured to serve those needs inside of a trust as well. So non-qualified stretch, inherited IRA, entity-owned annuities, Journey Mark is going to be where you want to go. Now, what happens if a client comes and says, we just put mom and dad in a nursing home and we're concerned if something happens to us, where's the money to help pay for care? Maybe they've got some issues going on and the cost of traditional long-term care has gotten quite expensive. Is there a way that we can effectively and affordably provide additional money if and when it's needed? With Legacy, the answer is yes. With the Apex Advantage product utilizing the Future Now rider with Booster for a 1.35 fee, only 10 basis points more than the income rider itself, they've got an opportunity to get double payments, not with a confinement trigger. It is a 2 of 6 ADL trigger. No confinement required as long as the individual has owned the policy for at least 2 years and they're unable to perform 2 of 6 ADLs. Our Future Now rider with booster is going to provide double payments for impairment until the cash value goes to 0. We can do that on 1 life or we can do that on 2 lives, and it's the same double payment on both lives. Not at the same time, but one at a time. So dad could get the benefit first and pass on. Mom could get the same doubler benefit, providing there's still some cash in the annuity, and have an opportunity for double payments twice with that product. We can also do it with FlexMark, our deferred income solution. The only difference between the two is there's a 3-year wait versus a 2-year wait on the FlexMark. All the benefits that I just talked about in Apex also available on the FlexMark product as well. Now, what if you've got a client that says, John, I have been in the market and I've loved it. I've made great money in the market, but now I'm a little bit concerned. I'm concerned with the volatility in the market. I'm not sure with all this debt that our country is struggling with right now, I want to stay in the market long term. I want to take some of the gains off the table, protect what I've gotten up to this point. And at the same time, I just noticed I'm paying some pretty hefty fees in my mutual funds, in my variable annuities, and in my RILAs. Do you have an option that can give me downside principal protection, but also give me the opportunity for significant upside growth? Inside the legacy portfolio, you want to look at Liberty Mark Freedom. This is our flagship accumulation product. It gives you the opportunity for a 1.75 fee, about half of what you typically see in a variable annuity or a RILA, to be able to offer very attractive rates and caps. Notice even with the no-fee version, our S&P 500 IQ, as of 23rd February 2024, 15.45% cap. That's a huge opportunity for growth. And if we looked at the returns as of yesterday, we actually hit that cap with the S&P 500 IQ. So again, no market value adjustment. You got an option for bonus or no bonus with this product. It is a fantastic tool when we're looking at accumulation with a downside protection, but still giving those clients that upside opportunity that they're accustomed to, but now 0 is their hero, and they're not having an opportunity to be fully exposed to the downside or exposed to the downside to some floor that's there. Our floor is 0. Account at value can only go up, never go down. Liberty Mark Freedom. Now, what if, and this is something that's unique to Alpine and only a handful of IMOs in the country, what if your clients come to you and say, you know, I love the idea of an annuity, but my parents bought one a few years ago and they got this fantastic rate the first year, and in year 2 it went down, and in year 3 it went down, and by year 4 that great par rate that we were excited about, my parents thought were going to make them rich, went in the toilet and it never came out. Do you have a solution for that? The answer is yes. Inside the legacy portfolio, we have this incredible product called Growth Commander. Now, this is limited distribution. Alpine is one of our limited distribution partners that has this. And inside of this product, we have 2 strategies, the SG Global Balanced and the Morgan Stanley Enhanced Allocation Index. Both of those, the participation rates are uncapped, and they are uncapped and guaranteed for the duration of the surrender period. So either for 6 years or 10 years, your clients are going to know with full certainty what their par rates are going to be, because they're never going to change for the life of the contract. So think about that. You've got the ability to offer anywhere from 156% participation all the way up to a 310% participation in one of 2 indexes. Now blend that with the S&P 500 IQ strategy. In my opinion, you've got a win-win-win that you may want to consider and look at. But think about taking away that awkward renewal rate conversation and what that can do for a client. You've got that in Growth Commander. Now, what about IRA rescue? There are millions and millions of dollars sitting in IRAs that mom, dad, grandma, grandpa no longer need for income. They want to ultimately pass it on to the kids or the grandkids. But what happens when you pass on a traditional IRA? It creates a significant tax burden, and the kids and the grandkids typically end up with 40 to 50, maybe 60% of that asset after all the taxes are paid. What if there were a more effective way to create a transfer of wealth, but do so where more of that money passed to the kids and the grandkids income tax free? One of the interesting things we can do with Apex Advantage is we can designate the income payment. Once we turn on that Future Now rider, we can designate that income payment to a third party. So think about that. You've got an IRA that they want to pass generationally. We put it into Apex. We turn on the income. We identify what that income payment is going to be. We utilize that annual income payment to fund a life insurance policy. It's set it and forget it. It's automatic. You don't have to wait on the client to get the income check from the annuity, deposit it, write a check, mail it to the insurance company so the life insurance gets paid. It happens automatically. You can set it up and forget it. You get an annuity commission for setting up the annuity. You get the life insurance commission for setting up the life insurance. And at the death of that individual, that life insurance policy is going to pay out income tax free to the heirs a significant sum of money. And whatever's left over in the Apex Advantage product, if any, is going to pass to the kids. And there's the tax-free insurance death benefit to help pay for it. Now, you can utilize the same strategy when it comes to charitable giving. If you want to utilize a charitable unit trust or a charitable annuity trust, variety of different planning strategies in the estate planning world, again, we can do the same thing with Apex. But this time, rather than designating the payment to an insurance carrier, we can designate that to a charity. So maybe you want to fund a charity while you're alive, continue to grow that asset, and at death, leave the remainder to the children. Or maybe you want to set it up so they've got income payments while you're alive and they get a lump sum at death. So you're maximizing your donations to be able to offset taxes that may be due and utilizing tax planning in your giving. Apex Advantage, again, can put that on autopilot. Now, we talked about non-qualified stretch, but I want to mention it again because it is an area that I want to make sure you're not missing. When you've got an opportunity and you're sitting down with a client, here's a question I want you to ask. Do you plan on inheriting anything from your parents when they pass away? When they say yes, you want to ask the question, do you mind if I ask what they're going to be leaving you? If they say they're leaving them an annuity, immediately start thinking non-qualified stretch, because here's the issue. If we don't set up non-qualified stretch while mom and dad are still alive, and at death, the insurance carrier that currently has their annuity will not process a post-death 1035 exchange, which we're finding many, many insurance carriers won't, non-qualified stretch no longer becomes an option. So with JourneyMark, you can go in and set up the non-qualified stretch opportunity now by getting mom and dad in the JourneyMark product, and you get paid to do that. And then at death, when the money gets ready to go to the kids or the grandkids, we set up the non-qualified stretch in the name of the children or the grandchildren, you get paid a second time. So this is a powerful way that you can ask a simple question and a follow-up question. Are you going to be receiving money from mom and dad at death? If they say yes, do you mind if I ask what it is? And then if there's an opportunity to go to mom and dad and say, mom and dad, here's an opportunity to leave your kids more or less. If you're interested, would you want to learn more? Now you get an opportunity to have the stretch conversation. You want to learn more on that? Happy to do some training. I've got some training videos I've already done. I'm happy to share with you to help you get your head wrapped around this story as well. But at the end of the day, as we wrap up, and I want to say thanks to Dan and all the incredible folks at Alpine for doing that, here's what I want to remind you of. If you'll ask good questions, let the client talk. The client's going to tell you everything you need to know to solve their money problem. And if you listen for this, they're going to say, hey, John, hey, Dan, hey, Robert, hey, Bob, hey, Susan, hey, Jane, this is what I'm looking for. Can you help me find it? And when you say yes, guess what? You don't have to think anymore, where am I going to go to find the solution? Because we can solve most, if not all of the problems you're going to run across with the portfolio of products we have at Legacy. Now you know where to go and you get to be the hero and not the goat. But if you've still got some questions along the way, you can always reach out to the incredible folks at Alpine Brokerage, or you can reach out to us here at Legacy. We are your one-stop shop for everything fixed indexed annuity related. And with that, I want to give you our number. If you've got any questions, you can contact us at our sales desk, 800-395-1053. Hit 1 when the voice prompt comes on. It'll take you directly to the sales team, and they can answer questions that you've got. And of course, visit us at LegacyNet. And don't forget to call the amazing folks at Alpine who know these products as good or better than we do. Dan, back to you, my friend.
Oh, thank you, John. I have to admit, I'm a little bit jealous of your shirt. It looks so good with our background. That pink is matching our background color so well. I was watching it while you're doing your presentation, just a little bit jealous, I have to admit. So,
It's an incredible thing. My son started this. He's a branch manager at a bank here in town, and every Wednesday he wears a pink shirt because he says real men wear pink. And so every day, all the staff knows it's hump day because he walks into the bank that he runs with a pink shirt on. And so
that's
I said, well,
amazing.
if my son can do it, I can do it too. So
That's
real men
right.
wear pink. And he was a 2010 Hall of Fame inductee as the Outstanding Youth Martial Artist of the Year. So he can punch, kick, and kill people just like I do. Yep.
That's right. I always call John just to close out, the Chuck Norris of the insurance industry. He's last presentation I said 2-time, but actually 3-time inductee into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame. So,
Yes, sir.
appreciate all of that. And thank you for your presentation today. I definitely was thinking about the non-qualified stretch. I know some of you that are on the program today might have a book of annuities that you've been working on for a number of years. That's another great opportunity for you to go back to those individuals, even if they are a little bit older, and say, hey, what are you planning on doing with this contract? And if it is passing to the next generation, then there could be an opportunity there to get that set up as well. And then lastly, I would just say, we do appreciate the partnership in the distribution of the Growth Commander product. It is limited distribution. So those of you that are working with Alpine Brokerage uh, and putting your business through us, you do have access to that product. So it locks in the participation rate for the life of the contract. So if you or your clients believe that interest rates are going to come down over time, or the rates are going to change in these annuity contracts that you purchase, it's an unbelievable product to take advantage of right now. So, John, as well, thank you for your partnership. Good to see you, my friend. And
Absolutely.
we wish everybody out there a great rest of the week. And we look forward to talking to you along the way. Thanks,
Very good.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.